do with it. Or you can scan it and work on it on Photoshop now that you have something which is first yours and second it's roughly worked on the volume part. So then you can just go on top of this and leave the sketch underneath untouched. You can play with some effects and you can give it color or do whatever you want with it. You can also, if you have some mistakes that you don't want to intervene with, you can go into the liquefier and sort of fix those things. It's pretty easy. It's a pretty easy fix. So here we go. This is like a reactor, I would say. Like a reactor in the middle of his chest, connecting to some entry points in his body. And you'll be able to recognize the volumes and see what you're actually doing and sort of add to it, and just by very simple shapes. I mean, I'm not even thinking while I'm doing this thing. Just by even randomly sometimes just adding lines, you can sort of achieve some very good random creative shapes, you know, that you can later on work a little bit more on them, you know, and get something really nice and finished. But I believe that pencil brush for this stage of drawing, which is basically what I'm doing now, it's sketching, right? It's perfect because it gives me the satisfaction of an almost finished work, and yet at the same time I know I can do a lot more with it. It gives me that kind of far-sightedness of if that's a word, of a hope, you know, and of satisfaction as well. And so this is something like a full body mode, which I could continue unend, and most likely will. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna end it in about a minute while I'm adding stuff to it and talking to you guys. So as you can see, I am sort of dressing the guy constantly from basic volumes and outwards. So I could start from his skull for all I know, and then if I achieve that, then I just erase a couple of features and I add his eyes and I add skin and all that stuff. It could prove to be one of your best drawing friend tools. It is to me, but I can't automatically assume that for anybody that's watching this, since it depends a little bit on the level of which you are able to visualize things. And of course the tool helps you in generating a volume which was not possible there before, and it also gives you the possibility of defining it a little better and bringing it into being, so to speak. Now, the function of the rubber I have underneath this is to actually create some kind of suspension type surface that I can sort of add a little bit more pressure to it. When I work on straight surfaces or just on paper, then what happens is I get a lot more defined stuff. So if I go from this point to taking the rubber off underneath the surface, what actually happens is I get a lot sharper and harder lines. So but I prefer with the 0.5 LEDs to work on a soft surface and just lay down and so a little bit more defined. As you can see, this volumes now look all there, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them out by sort of creating a black background or some kind of dark background so it can pop out somehow. So I grab the pencil brush from here and just work around the lines, leaving a small light area like so. And if I want, I just simply delete this area and I create something like not so edging. And I can go even closer. And if I tap it, like so, kind of do a fog erasing. So that was it. Thank you for watching, and I'll be posting more of these since I understand it's critical that people that have bought a pencil brush or want to buy one have to see some inspiring, or at least basically okay works to start sort of indulging themselves in working in this particular manner. And there is definitely other ways of working with the pencil brush, and I work in many ways, but this is one of that I have found is the most suiting to the abilities or to the features that the tool itself offers, which is the sharp edge that always stays sharp because it's pencil lead 0.5, and the shape that it takes after working with it for a while, which is it will take the natural shape of the way you draw. So if you use more of the tip, it will take like a Nike form, and if you use your elbow instead of your wrist too much, it will be constantly flat and serve you forever. So thank you for watching again, and I'll see you again in another pencil brush video. At this stage of the drawing,